The following is a presentation from PokerStars.com. Last night on the big game, Doyle Brunson got hit in the head with the deck.
Tell him how smart you are.
Every time I look, he's calling with kings.
And our loose cannon, Will Davis, had marching orders to bust Daniel.
You know what the loose cannon just told me?
What?
His wife doesn't really like you very much.
Your wife doesn't like me very much?
He wants to bust you today.
Will he be able to navigate through this table full of sharks and felt kid poker?
Let's go for it.
We shall see tonight on the big game.
Wow.
This is the PokerStars.com Big Game.
Welcome to the newest game in Las Vegas. Alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Chris Rose, where tonight there's over $500,000 on the table as play continues in our state-of-the-art poker room.
Tonight's lineup includes the debonair hipster poker pro, David Williams. He's up over 20 dimes.
Nearly the same amount as the man who always shoots from the hip, Texas Dolly, Doyle Brunson.
Kid poker, Daniel Negreanu is only down a few orbits of blinds and antes, just a couple of grand.
To his right is internet entrepreneur Jason Calacanis. He is up a whopping small blind.
And as you can see, cash game specialist and triple draw guru Abe Mosseri is down about 10,000.
And the final player at this table is 29-year-old aspiring poker pro Will Davis out of Hilliard, Ohio. As tonight's loose cannon, he was staked 100 grand. He's stuck over 28,000, and he's standing by with Amanda Leatherman.
All right, Will, rough start. Got a little bit of catching up to do. You have a game plan going in there today?
You know, pretty much the same. I want to keep it aggressive, and I think I'm going to steer clear of Doyle.
Yeah, he's scaring you a little bit?
Yeah, he's pretty tough.
Yeah? You said he had an evil stare.
Not so much evil, it's just, I swear, you can read your soul when he's looking through you, so.
All right, go get him, Tiger.
Thanks.
Quick reminder that each cannon staked 100 grand and keeps all profits above the initial $100,000. At season's end, the loose cannon who's won the most money earns a North American Poker Tour passport worth $50K.
And Chris, before the show, our loose cannon wouldn't stop talking to everyone, including me, about his other life passion, the video game, StarCraft.
So what is it about StarCraft that makes you guys, like, good at poker? Because that's what you played, StarCraft, right?
I think it's the competition thing.
But isn't it like a strategy game or something like that?
Yeah, you know,
That's a cool way to get chicks, huh? StarCraft?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Staying home in your mom's basement playing video games for 12 hours.
You got to go to Korea. It's like
Action folds around to Doyle Brunson, who also folds, so our first hand ends in a walk for David Williams.
I like it.
I'm sure he's happy to take a walk with 4-6 offsuit. Everyone must be too distracted with these tales of StarCraft.
Once again, here are the rules of the big game. As you know, each table lasts exactly 150 hands. Action pre-flop is pot limit, then becomes no limit after the flop. Blinds are 2 and 400 with a $100 ante, all of which is paid by the player on the button. And every player begins with at least $100K, but can rebuy for as little as $50,000, all the way up to $500,000.
Chris, you look like a StarCraft guy. Do you play as Protoss, Human, or Zerg?
Actually, Joe, I don't live with my parents anymore.
You know, it's really not so bad.
Abe Mosseri raises.
Raise.
Big slick for Calacanis, announcing a raise to 4,000. Daniel folds king, queen. Doyle folds an ace. David Williams folds. So does the loose cannon. And Abe calls.
Very loose call from Abe. Everybody wants a chance to play against the blogging millionaire. Let's see if someone presses the like button on this flop.
10 deuce tray, 3 spades hit the board. Mosseri checks his flush draw. Calacanis checks as well.
Not a great flop for Calacanis.
8 of clubs on the turn. Mosseri connects
Even worse card on the turn now that Abe's got a pair.
and bets 6,500.
Jason's drawing to a non-spade ace or a king.
And folds. So Abe Mosseri picks up a nice little pot.
Bet, bet, bet.
If you don't want it, I'm going to take it.
I don't want it.
I don't believe him. I think he wanted it. Abe definitely wanted it.
You might never see Elke again when StarCraft 2 comes out.
Elke Gros Pellier.
Why, you think?
Has he been playing the beta lately? Because my friends have been playing the beta, all my friends that love it.
I haven't played it. I've been too busy, but...
So are there really StarCraft groupies?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's funny.
Can't imagine what those groupies look like.
Huh?
Can't imagine what them groupies look like.
Where?
StarCraft, video game groupies.
Probably the same groupies as the Magic groupies.
Oh yeah, you played Magic. Did you ever play Magic too? Magic the Gathering? You never heard of that?
Who didn't? Yeah.
You played that too? Who didn't? Yeah, I bet you Doyle's never played Magic.
Any proper dork played Magic.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I still play it every day.
Who else played Magic? You played it?
Eric Froelich, Brock Parker.
Brock Parker. That kid's good.
Justin Bonomo, Isaac Axon, Scott Seaver, we all
They
play.
all played it.
We all still do. We all live in Panorama. We play every night. We're playing tonight after this.
2 in a row for David.
You have a regular Magic game?
Yeah. Bunch of poker guys. We all play and play for money, and we just to relax after poker games. We play Magic. That's wild. We all live in the same building. We get together.
Do you guys ever track girls as a pastime?
Magic is girl repellent.
Chicks love Magic.
Or did y'all ever go rabbit hunting or anything?
But Noah and Justin like
Deer
to
hunting?
kick it up and play real high, and we've had some disputes over money because they're playing for a few thousand. This is not going to happen.
Abe raises
That's
from
not
the
fair.
button.
A lot of arguments.
And takes it down.
Just or somebody doing something semi-sketchy, like what counts as what, and because they're playing for a few thousand. Sure. So we don't play for as much until Noah and Justin get involved, and they both got these big egos against each other.
As far as this game goes, 29-year-old David Williams burst onto the scene as the runner-up in the 04 main event. He does have one bracelet to his name, and so far in the big game, he's up over 21 grand.
And he shares a life coach with Phil Hellmuth Jr.
Hopefully they're not sharing sessions.
Just explain that.
It's a card game. You explain it.
It's a strategy card game. I like to say it's you play one-on-one.
It's like Dungeons and Dragons?
Still talking about Magic the Gathering.
Here's how I talk about that part. The cards themselves have art on it, right? But when you play chess, the pieces, like the knight is shaped like a horse, the king has a crown, but that actually is irrelevant, right? The pieces in chess could all be shaped like whatever, and you could just say that this piece moves this way. But they give you that to help you remember or help you give it some.
Each card does
style.
a different thing.
So each card has pictures on it that people say is like Dungeons and Dragons, but that's irrelevant. They all have text that tells you how it works, which is akin to like a chess piece saying this is how it works, and there's 10,000 different pieces in
Raise the pot.
Doyle, paying attention to this game, re-raises Will Davis.
He wanted to know how it works.
We're moments away from the Rubik's
Chicks dig Magic, right?
I love Magic.
You love Magic?
Yeah.
You watch them play and stuff, and like with signs up?
No, but I heard David's the best.
David's the best? You're the best?
Not in the world. I mean, of the poker players, probably. There's a few of us, but I'm up there.
Action on the loose cannon, Will Davis.
Stay on it and practice to be the best. So the guys that play all the time, professionally still.
Yeah.
And he makes the call.
Good luck, Cannon.
Dead heat going into the flop.
4 Queen 8.
We're rooting for you.
After a re-raise pre-flop, we're likely to see a continuation bet from Doyle.
The Hall of Famer fires 7,000, and Davis folds.
I'm going to announce this now in case even if it happens to me, I'll feel the same. If he does double up off any of us, I am going to applaud and be happy. So don't have your feelings hurt if any of the rest of you, if he doubles through you, and you can do the same to me.
Well, our loose cannon Will has to like the way David Williams is talking. We're back with more right after this.
I'm Abe Mosseri, also known as Easy Peasy. One thing you do know is that loose cannon is going to have to gamble at some point. He's either going to try to double a stack or to go bust. So you know he's going to have to gamble, so that dynamic is in there. So it makes the game a little bit more interesting.
Well, as Abe just told you, all eyes are on the loose cannon, Will Davis, the aspiring poker pro from Hilliard, Ohio. Once again, anything he wins over $100,000, he gets to keep.
Cannon, what's your day job?
This.
Are you a professional poker player?
No.
No, what do you got a job, for real?
No.
Will has told us that he's dedicated to giving poker a full-time shot.
Well, tonight could be the first step in making that dream come true.
We got a professional.
I thought the whole concept here was...
He's played more poker than anybody here.
That don't surprise me.
We got a professional.
Wait a second. I think that's a tell.
Done 1 million hands this year, so far.
So far?
So far.
And it's the middle of the
Played
year?
1 million hands this year.
5 months.
You played live some, too. All right?
Yeah. I was just out here playing over at Mirage, little 2-5.
This is a setup.
I feel like we're being punked.
You don't see anybody handling chips like that.
No, that's what I noticed too.
No, he looks at his cards normal. He handles chips better than Durr did when Durr first started playing. That was the funniest, watching Durr in Bobby's room when he first started. Didn't know how to pick up his cards and chips.
Will knows how to fold. Abe raises.
Card room that would let me play when I was 20. They didn't serve alcohol, so yeah, I started.
You started when you were 20. How old are you now?
29.
Okay, so you're old now. Poker-wise, you're kind of old.
Have you ever held a job? Or have you always just played poker for a living?
I was a cook once.
When's the last time you were gainfully employed?
David defends.
Outside of poker.
Nobody here is gainfully employed.
Well, I know that.
To the flop.
The last time I was gainfully employed was 1955.
What is gainfully exactly?
Check.
It just means
Check.
employed. It's a nice way of saying
Gainfully employed?
Deuce of spades on the turn. Williams checks. Masseri checks. 10 of clubs on the river.
2 pair for David.
Bets 3,000. Masseri folds.
No, I'm just showing the camera, make sure it saw it.
I had the worst hand possible. Almost. Very close to the worst hand possible.
Doesn't include a 3, and it has to be 8-9.
That would have had 8-9.
Very deductive read.
So when was the last year that you actually worked?
03, 04.
Very 304, 1955. Was the last time you worked in a job?
I don't know. It depends on the I don't know. As a teenager.
Went to an office, like
office
or anything like punch the clock or nothing.
If I was going to an office as a teenager, it wasn't to work.
I've had a million jobs.
Really, you've actually worked for a
See
living.
if there was anything I could steal.
The only office Daniel's ever seen is the one that comes on TV.
Well, Joe, in case Kevin from the office is watching, let's read these slowly. Doyle Brunson, David Williams atop the leaderboard. The loose cannon, Will Davis, he was staked $100,000. He only gets to keep whatever he wins over the original $100K. He's stuck over $35,000. Joe, what do you make of it so far?
Well, let's take a look at the numbers. Right here, we've got a flop seam percentage, which is just another way of saying who's playing the most hands. Abe's been splashing around the most, but we've seen that the loose cannon is certainly not afraid to get wet. So far, the big winner is Doyle Brunson. He's catching cards, and it doesn't hurt that he knows how to play them.
Once again, those stats are through 42 hands, so the loose cannon Will Davis has plenty of time to make up his deficit. Action will begin on Will Davis.
You use a HUD?
And he folds. Abe Masseri, ace-deuce suited, raises.
What is a HUD?
Heads up display.
It's the thing that was over there on the computer over their head. There's like a square that says all their numbers.
I know how to pick my chips up here and call.
Doyle's just working his way up to the VCR.
David Williams folds. 2 players to the flop. Deuce, 8, deuce.
Trip deuces for Abe.
Check by Brunson. Check by Masseri.
Setting a trap.
9 of hearts on the turn.
Check.
All right, now that flush and straight draws are out there, we should see a bet from Abe.
Brunson is checked on over to Abe, who makes it 1,500 to go. Doyle calls.
He's got an open-ended straight draw.
The river. The king of hearts.
This is a scare card for both players.
Doyle checks. Masseri bets 4,000.
When Doyle checks, Abe feels safe enough to bet his hand.
What did you do,
Oh,
Doyle?
that's for next time.
Doyle just messing with Abe. He did fold.
That should be mine.
Try and get it. Come and get it.
Yeah, this is the guy who carries guns.
Not anymore.
Obviously, the only guns he's talking about is firing with 3 barrels on the flop, turn, and
He's
river.
got a guy carrying it.
You had to get back to the car. You know, that's when you needed it.
Or maybe not.
Action begins on Abe Masseri.
Oh, that's, yeah, had to get in there. Do this, it's not a call.
Fold. Jason Calacanis out of the way. Daniel, pocket 3s.
You raise it again?
Yeah.
I'm out then.
Doyle folds. David Williams, queen jack. Gets a discount to call. And the loose cannon's out.
Got a little coin flippage right now.
King deuce 4.
Check.
Check by Williams.
With that check, it's a pretty safe flop for Daniel to think he has the best hand.
Bets 2,200.
Seems like an easy fold. Looks like David might be up to something.
Williams calls.
This move is called a reverse float, which is just a float out of position. It's when you make a call in order to try to take it away in a later street.
7 of hearts on the turn. No help to David Williams.
Check.
Who checks over to Daniel. Right back at you, pal.
David's probably going to try to bluff at it on the river.
Ace of diamonds is the river card.
Now, the ace may change things.
Check.
Yeah.
Check by David. Check by Daniel.
Not no pair.
Oh, sweet. That's good news.
Daniel wins a pot of almost $8,000.
Looked like David was going to try to take Daniel off of ace high, but had to put the brakes on when the ace hit the river.
While Daniel stacks up his chips, we're going to take a short break, but we're coming right back to Las Vegas with lots more of the big game. Hold tight. Remember, the loose cannon who finishes the season with the most cash gets a North American Poker Tour passport worth 50 grand. Last week's LC, Ernest Wiggins, had a solid run, winning over 50 grand, but right now Will Davis has got to kick it into gear.
Forget the passport. Will's got to kick it into gear if he wants to walk home with anything.
Whatever happened to that vegetarian thing with Ivy?
Ivy's so stupid. I told him my assistant could have cooked for him, and he would have been fine. He would have had all this fake meat. He would have been fine. After like a little while, he settled for like $150,000 because he wanted a steak.
The most expensive steak ever.
Now let's put a little more.
How
It's
many
Abe.
months was it? You had to...
Daniel raises to 1,500.
I've noticed every time it's my blind, it's 1,500. When someone else is
I'm
12.
going to explain all this to you in the book. I'm going to explain the 15 for you. Sometimes I give it to you for 12.
All right.
Usually 15 for you.
Will Davis calls. So does Abe Mosseri.
It all depends on the strength of my hand. This is a better hand, so I'm raising more.
2-7.
Makes sense,
Better
right?
hand, you raise more. I don't know. It could be the opposite.
No deuce of diamonds in this one.
It could be the other way around.
Deuce, Trey.
That's you.
Check by Davis. Check by
That's
Mosseri.
Daniel's hand.
Daniel's got the best hand.
And bets 3,000. Will folds. So does Abe.
I got you beat.
Show him the nuts.
For sure.
Show him the nuts.
Daniel shows the queen.
He doesn't seem too impressed.
I didn't mean to show. It just flipped over.
I had him beat. Had you beat at all times.
King, queen yet?
I didn't say that. I said I had you beat at all times.
It wasn't queen deuce or queen tray, so then it's ace, king, or queen.
Yeah. But I didn't say it was a king.
Unless he's lying.
Unless I'm lying, exactly.
Just sitting here on TV lying.
Actually, in television, it's called producing.
Daniel folds.
16.
Doyle raises to 1,600 with pocket sixes. Action folds around to Jason Calacanis. Pocket kings.
Chris.
Can pretty much never go wrong re-raising with kings.
Raised to 5,600.
So that's how much altogether?
56 total.
Since it's pot limit pre-flop, Doyle's getting the right odds to call, try to hit his set.
And Doyle does call. 2 players to the flop. Trey 6-7. Doyle flops a set.
Putting on a running good seminar.
15,000.
Calacanis bets 15,000.
Board's got to look safe to Jason. With a bet like that, Calacanis has to have something. Doyle wants to extract as much value as he can right now. It's very unlikely that a set of sixes is beat.
This is 30.
Doyle makes it 30,000.
Now, if you notice, Doyle's only raised the minimum here. It's because he definitely wants a call. Maybe it'll even entice the amateur to ship over the top. Jason's not a very experienced player. He's probably not sure how to interpret a min raise. There's no ace on board. There's nothing really that scary out there. It's going to be very difficult for him to get away from this.
Jason calls.
See, if you got it all in, we could run it twice. Nothing. We're going to be at a guess.
Now, I'm not sure why Jason just called. If it was good enough to call, it's probably good enough to get it in.
The turn. 10 of clubs.
All in.
I call.
All in and a call.
Jason's about to see some very bad news.
3 sixes.
Run it 10 times.
Wait.
Hang on.
You can run it 3 times if you want.
Sure.
3 times.
3 times.
You understand that? Okay.
That means you'll see the river card 3 times, playing for 1/3 of the pot each run. The first river, 5 of spades.
One for the good guys.
Give Jason 1. My 2 out.
Yeah, I won't be too mad.
Run number 2, 10 of hearts.
2.
And last chance for Jason to salvage something. It's a deuce and a sweep for Doyle.
Chipped.
I presume I've got you.
Yeah, you got him covered. For sure.
I'm assuming.
That is correct. Doyle wins a pot of more than $204,000.
Oh, brutal.
Looks like the internet millionaire just had a server crash.
Jason Calacanis, you've just been pwned by a legend. There's a reason Doyle's in the Poker Hall of Fame. More action coming your way from the big game after this. Welcome back to the big game, where there has been a seismic shift in chips as Big Papa just stacked off wealthy internet tycoon Jason Calacanis.
Calacanis now all of a sudden at the bottom of the pile. Doyle remains at the top. And this just in, Chris, Calacanis has had no choice but to officially defriend Doyle Brunson.
Well, our friend Amanda Leatherman is hanging out with the boys at the table.
Jason,
Yeah.
what did you put Doyle on that hand?
I thought he could have aces. Or I thought maybe he was raising into a player who he might be able to bluff out of the pot. So I thought it was a coin toss.
So what'd you buy back in for?
100.
100. Okay, good luck. Doyle, still killing it. My favorite.
Oh, yeah. Let's keep that one.
That's one of the many reasons Doyle's been smiling all week long. Doyle Brunson, the Hall of Famer, a true presence at the table.
I'm Doyle Brunson, and they call me Texas Dolly. Well, I guess I am the elder statesman every time I sit down, just about. I've always noticed that when poker players get to be 50 years old, their game starts declining. So I feel very fortunate that I may not be quite as good as I used to be, but I'm close. I've never considered myself to be any kind of a celebrity. I'm a poker player that came along at the right time. These younger guys, I think they should realize, how lucky they are to come along at this particular time. If they had to go back to the old days, back when we were on the road, we were in danger all the time. We got cheated, we got robbed, we got arrested. It was quite a different lifestyle back then. What really keeps me coming back is just that I love to compete. I think it's kept me young all these years. My body's breaking down, but I still enjoy playing. It's been a great life. I've had a good time, and I've enjoyed myself. I have made some money. I hope just to keep playing until they throw dirt in my face.
There's a reason he's called the Godfather of Poker, and that's because he's outlasted everyone else, both in life and in the game.
From a legend of poker to a guy who's a legend in his own mind, we have another Phil Hellmuth story that Daniel is telling.
And then he tweeted, like, I'm just so proud to see that Justin Timberlake's a big fan of mine. But he didn't even know who the hell he was.
Did you read the one where he's like, Jennifer Aniston didn't recognize me or something, but I'm going to be sending her, or sending Sienna Miller my book.
I'll tell you, I hate to say it because I actually like Phil, but I think he has kind of lost it a little bit.
Yeah, I like him too.
I love Phil.
Doyle doesn't love that hand. David's out. The loose cannon raises to 1,200. Action folds around to Daniel.
You got it.
Who folds?
We're really having some problems getting in the hands together here.
Well, he knows that your wife wants him to bust you, so he's just staying out of your way, so that won't happen. He's
Trying
like,
to disappoint your wife, like you probably have in your... No, never mind.
Oh!
I don't know how that came out of my mouth.
Watch out, she's German. She's going to be here in a few hours.
That was gold there.
You're on your own.
I mean, that was so impromptu.
Score 1 for Daniel. Doyle gets the assist just because.
Will Davis will be second to act this hand. Williams folds.
Been there and
Pocket
done
sixes for the loose cannon. Raises to 1,200. Action folds around to Doyle Brunson. With the Brunson.
And he's reaching for chips.
Raise the pot.
I guess if the hand's named after you, that does make you pot committed.
A raise to 4,400.
So 32 more?
Yes, correct.
Will calls.
I don't know if anyone's the real favorite against 10 deuce when Doyle's holding it.
8 queen deuce on the flop. Bottom pair for Doyle.
What you got approximately?
Oh, now you sound like an internet player.
No, not just approximate. That's good. I can
50,
see.
55, 60.
I'm all in.
Doyle's all in.
Wow.
Fire up the TiVo. It's the Doyle show.
Doyle Brunson poker, baby.
Will folds.
You said it.
Doyle shows the Brunson.
Oh, no.
You just can't help it with that hand. Doyle just can't help it. This is Doyle's hand, right here.
It's very loose with my money.
It's a world champ.
I know his hand.
First, Will gets zinged by Daniel, then he gets smoked by Doyle, putting on a show for the people at home. Brutal.
I've never heard you say that before. How much you playing over there?
I don't, and that's you're right. I never say that.
That's the first time I've ever heard you do
I
that.
couldn't see. You know why? It's because
Couldn't see the
I can't
grays.
see back there.
Sorry.
And they're, it's hard to distinguish the color.
So apparently the loose cannon is sitting right here.
No, I've never asked anybody that, and I've never counted my chips down for anybody.
You know, the kids today, like, how much do you have exactly? You got like 380,000 or something. What, are you being serious?
I just tell them that there they are. If you want the dealer
Yeah.
to count them, well, okay, but I'm not going to count them.
Bro.
Abe Masseri raises. Calacanis is out. Negreanu, Jack 10 suited.
Jack 10 suited is a hand that plays very well in position.
Raises to 4,000. Action folds. And Abe calls.
Me and Abe.
Me and Daniel.
Position.
You got position. Better player.
Better hand.
Better hair.
Better hand.
Better hand.
5 deuce king.
Forgot about the better hand part.
Abe checks.
Daniel's repped a big hand, so when it's checked him, he's likely to continuation bet.
He does. 5,500.
Do you have the nut no pair? Ace queen.
And Abe folds.
Pick a card, any card.
Deuce of diamonds.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me that.
Daniel shows the 10.
Let's see a 10.
God, I wanted to hit that deuce of diamonds.
I have a feeling I would have seen a 10 no matter what card I
I
picked.
never usually get curious about people's hands, but just pick either card you want. I'm going to have to remember that.
It's fun.
The funny thing is, I usually don't care either, but once I see one, I want to know the other now. I'm like, what the hell's the other one?
That's why he does it. It's like a slow needle. It's like a little needle.
Because a 10 could be like anything.
It would have been sweet if it was a deuce of diamonds for a lot of reasons. Because of Doyle's previous hand, because of your deuce of diamonds re-raising, there was a deuce on the board. So many.
Abe Masseri, pocket pair. Here on hand 50 out of 150. Raised to 1,200. Action folds to Doyle. Let's go ace-jack on the button.
Tight laydown.
9-6 suited for David Williams makes the call. And the loose cannon folds.
Even though David has a raggy hand like 9-6, he's pretty much a coin flip against 2 5s.
Queen, jack, deuce, 2 hearts. Check by Williams. Check by Masseri.
Abe's got the best hand. He's checking for pot control.
10 of diamonds on the turn.
Williams has picked up an open-ended straight draw.
And fires 2,300. Abe calls.
Good read by Abe.
The river. The deuce of diamonds, Daniel's card.
David's missed. He can only win with a bluff.
And here it comes, 5,700. And it gets Abe to lay down the best hand.
I'll either look very smart or very dumb.
Doyle's running the table over, still not satisfied. You can't win every pot.
Well, more cash will be changing hands. Who will be smarting and who will be smiling? Find out when we come back. Welcome back to Las Vegas for the big game. Joe Stapleton and Chris Rose watching hand 51 out of 150. Jason Calacanis, Jack, Ace.
Yeah, you should definitely finish it.
Raises to 1,200.
What a great show that was.
Daniel folds.
I missed that show.
Another pair of ladies for Doyle Brunson.
Check his face for bruises. He's getting smacked with the deck.
He just calls. David Williams folds on the button. The loose cannon does as well. Abe Masseri, though, he's playing.
Doyle's just called with his queens, maybe trying to trap Jason yet again.
3 to the flop. 4 deuce jack, 3 diamonds.
No one's got a diamond.
Abe checks. Calacanis bets 4,000.
This is another very bad flop for Jason. It's a pretty safe board for Doyle. It's hard to put someone on a flop flush.
Doyle smooth calls.
Doyle's calling for pot control and to watch the diamond situation.
And Abe folds.
Easy fold for Abe.
So it's Calacanis and his top pair against Doyle Brunson and his queens. To the turn, another queen, giving Doyle a set.
If Doyle liked his hand before, he loves it now.
Calacanis is checked on over to the Hall of Famer.
He's probably going to bet now, try to build this pot.
Makes it 8,000 to go.
Another difficult spot. He lets it go. The tech guru must have seen the README file on Doyle.
Can we pick a card?
Yeah, you can.
The front one, this one right here.
Let's see it. Thank you, God.
How about the other one?
Yeah, it's the same card.
The other one was the best it could be there. I think it was Queen of Diamonds.
This ain't Doyle's first rodeo, and this ain't the first pot he's won tonight either. Doyle's leading the table in all of the following categories. 3-bet percentage, which is just re-raising pre-flop. Continuation bet percentage, which is betting the flop after raising pre-flop. And showdowns, Doyle hasn't lost a single one. And of course, the most important stat, profit, he leads there too.
So how much can you bet altogether if you want?
2,000 first in.
Doyle discussing our format, which is pot limit pre-flop.
You haven't realized that by now? We played about 50 hands. You haven't realized?
No, nobody's ever done it.
I did it.
He did it once.
As a joke. I said all in, but...
Oh, this is like the Omaha. Something's 3 times something. I don't know what that is either. Huh?
With the ante, it changes everything.
Doyle folds, as does David. The loose cannon, Will Davis. Raises to 1,200, gets Abe to fold. Jason Calacanis calls with pocket sevens. Daniel, ace, jack.
I think this could be the one. For me and you, we just woo-woo. Let's
do it.
Woo-woo, get a little crazy. Okay? Okay. I'm going to raise that guy and this guy, both of them.
Daniel's deciding how much.
Playing hands and talking now.
To 4,700.
I'm scared.
Oh, the LC folds.
Okay.
So does Jason.
That's what we call a squeeze, ladies and gentlemen. That's a squeeze play.
That usually implies you don't have much when you make the squeeze play.
The squeeze?
Squeezing with, kings is not too impressive.
Daniel's managed to squeeze a few more bucks out of each of the amateurs.
You can even find squeeze percentage on there.
Really?
Yes. You can see how often someone does it. Most of the guys do it between 4 to 4%.
Action folds on over to Abe. Queen 4. Folds. As to Jason.
How do you know all this stuff?
I talk to these kids, I'm learning.
Daniel limps in.
Talk to these
Doyle
guys.
gets a free look at the flop.
Daniel's hip with the kids.
Ace 8 versus Ace 8. Jack 6, Jack. Check by Daniel. Check by Doyle. 3 hearts on the turn. Another check. And another check.
This is some power poker we're seeing here.
The river, king of hearts. Check.
Check. He beat him. Untied.
Oh, what a semi-slow roll.
That's a slow roll of the day so far.
I can handle it. If I get half my money back, I'm fine.
Hey, Daniel.
Yeah.
Has Doyle ever really slow rolled you in a game?
Doyle has slow rolled me in a game one time by accident, for sure. Or so he says. I think he was trying to get me stuck and steaming because I was already down a bunch of money. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see I had that. All right, whatever you say.
When was that?
It was a stud hand, like a year and a half ago, probably.
I don't believe you.
Huh?
I don't believe you.
You're good read because I was bluffing. Never happened. And he bought it for a second, too.
I know they're cueing the music, but we're not going to a break. No, really, we're not. We're not. All right, we're going to a break.
6 slow roll, Chris.
Welcome back to the big game from Las Vegas. Rejoining the table, hand 57 out of 150. Jason Calacanis folds. Daniel folds, as does Doyle. David Williams is in, raising to 1,200. Ace-queen suited for the loose cannon, Will Davis.
Raise the pot.
Decent re-raising hand, six-handed.
Will Davis makes it 4,600. Abe Masseri, 9-6 suited out of the big blind. The quizzical look, and then the fold.
Nice hand.
And David folds.
Well played by the loose cannon.
Rays gets it done for the aspiring poker pro who plays under the screen name of Willie Beer 22 on PokerStars.net.
So you play like you're a multi-table guy?
Yeah.
Play like 8 screens?
You played a million hands, not multi-tabling.
How many screens you play at once?
Play like 20 tables.
With no HUD?
No.
Wow, you must be really good. That's crazy.
HUD stands for heads-up display, which is a computer program people use to track the way their opponents play. Very popular amongst the kids these days.
I was telling you that we got the short end of it. I said we got a tough one. I heard about him before we started.
Well, how in the hell do you play 20 games at once?
We are focusing on one game here. One game at a time.
1,200.
Action folds around to Abe Masseri, who raises. Pocket tens for Jason Calacanis. Calls.
1,200's bet.
Daniel's out. Doyle's in. Makes the call. Jack 10 offsuit.
Calacanis got the best hand going into the flop.
Which is 9 Jack 10, a monster flop.
Expect to see a lot of action here. Doyle checks his top 2.
Abe bets 3,000.
He's got a flush draw and a gut shot.
And a set for Calacanis.
Raise.
Announcing a raise to 13,000.
I like this raise. This board is sopping wet. He's going to want to try to protect his set. Doyle should be suspicious of a raise coming from an amateur. Tough for him to get away from top 2.
Where is it?
Doyle announcing a re-raise to $83,000.
Doyle's drawing very slim. He must be putting both his opponents on draws. He's right on one count. Abe is drawing.
Come on, we deal 3 times, Abe.
Good, huh?
Abe has to know he's behind at the moment. He's not getting great odds. He's got to commit all of his chips. He's not even drawing to the nuts. Calacanis is shuffling chips like he's drinking Adderall-flavored coffee. You know, Abe's only got 4,200 invested in this pot. He has no fold equity because Doyle's essentially moved all in.
All right, I'm all in.
Moves in anyway. This is a crazy move from Abe. Someone could easily have ace-10 of hearts or something like that.
You got more than 83?
Nah, probably not. I don't think so.
Whether he thinks he's ahead or behind, I'm sure Doyle would have rather Abe folded.
Wow.
Even though Jason has the best hand, the way the betting went, Abe and Doyle are both representing absolute monsters.
Don't think I can.
Big to low.
Don't think I can lay this down. This will be the biggest flame out in high stakes history. Or it'll be absolutely brilliant.
I'm glad to see he's stalling. Don't you tell you what his snap calls?
Wow. Somebody have a set of jacks here? And somebody have a straight already? And queen already? This will be a sick laydown.
Sounds like 3 9s.
Wow. This is ridiculous if I lay this down.
Remember, Calacanis has already stuck 100 dimes to Doyle.
Somebody must have flopped a straight.
Jason shows his hand, but it's not dead. This is a cash game.
You think you're gonna pick something up off of us by showing us the hand and telling us what you got?
No, I
right.
just was looking for some sympathy, actually. But apparently I'm not going to get any.
He folds.
Wow.
He had me crushed.
You had me crushed, too. You fold that, Daniel? What'd you have? You don't have ace-10 of hearts, do you?
No.
Good.
Oh, my God.
2 pair and
Oh, my God. Please, I got
now
it.
you want to see a heart, right?
Well, how much time do you want to run this?
3's good.
Let's run a 2. Let's run a 2 for simplicity.
It's up to you. I'd never argue about that.
Well, I know it's going to be hard for you. It's going to be hard for you to make a full house now.
You guys doing it twice, right?
Twice.
For the love of God, let it be a flush and a full house.
Tough spot.
Flush and a straight. Okay. For the love of God.
No, flush and a full house is what I'd like to see.
You want a jack? You want a jack to come on one, so you can feel real good about that.
I actually feel kind of bad about this for some reason.
Why?
I don't know.
Because you feel bad about getting him out of the pot?
I don't know.
Yeah, thanks, Doyle.
No, I mean, I feel bad about the results.
I feel terrible about the results so far.
Abe has held over me too long.
Oh, stop it. You've held over me.
Yeah, right. Boom.
First run, 4 of diamonds.
One more blank, then it won't be so painful. Boom. Yeah.
Abe makes a flush.
That's the boom.
Thank you, God.
Just like I figured.
I had the same hand come up on a TV cash game show. I had the set of 10s. I folded. One guy had a bigger set, and one guy had the straight.
Wait, didn't you just criticize my fold?
It wasn't these players, and it wasn't this situation.
Wait, you do that? Oh, that was such a bad play?
It was definitely, it's one of those decisions where either way, it wasn't a big deal.
Right.
It's like if you fold, it's fine. If you call, it's fine.
Good for Doyle anyways. Sucked for me.
I'm feeling pretty good about it right now.
Now give us the queen of clubs.
Second run.
Queen of clubs?
Yeah.
All right.
Makes Doyle a full house.
Ooh.
It'll be a split pot.
Trying to get your money back on the third one.
I would be leaving right now.
How much did you take back here?
I took back all my money, man.
Even though Jason laid down the best hand, he would have lost both runs. The wrong laydown at the right time.
Good fold. Look at that.
But that is a good moan, Abe. I've held over you. You're that much superior to me.
Well, it was
Grounded me every time you come to town, but that's because you're better, so much better.
well, you know. I don't know, Doyle. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I'll let the results speak for themselves, buddy.
Can't remember a split pot being that much fun. Well, let's take a look at the standings. Doyle Brunson up over 143K. David Williams, Daniel Negreanu also on the plus side. And our loose cannon, Will Davis, stuck 46K. He now has 90 hands left to turn a profit and walk away with some cash.
Hey guys, it's that time again. Session's coming to a close. Jason, I think you dodged a couple bullets.
Yeah.
How you feel?
I feel like I need to double up and then double up again.
Yeah? Are you frustrated out here?
I think I made a great laydown, and I think I made a horrible all-in versus Doyle. I should know better.
Which
Doyle
great laydown?
The 10s.
Wasn't great.
Well, it's great. It's great if I would have. The result after the results, it's great.
That's it.
It's fantastic.
We're done. It's the end of the show. I'm Amanda Leatherman saying goodbye for now. And remember, if you've got the cash and the guts, there's always a seat open at the big game. See you next time.
For Joe Stapleton, I'm Chris Rose. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Are you gonna win? You said you're gonna be a big winner.
I'm trying.
How much you up?
I'm up like 10,000.
That's good.
Yeah, hey, you know, for my
He's
squeeze
up way
plays, yeah, Doyle's just that much better.
The preceding was a presentation from PokerStars.com.